Tonight, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the rookie from the University of Washington.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They moved the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted, many times to probe and find some holes in the defense.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one. I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
He got it there. Looking to throw, Penix. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Back to the ground with Robinson, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. They hand off to their big tight end. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tegan Quatoriano. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. On play action, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Mahomes now on 1st down. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Here's 2nd and 3. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. Busts through the tackle, and he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll run here with Pacheco. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Once more, it's Pacheco. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. This is caught. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And Hunt will find his way in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point by Butker is on target. And we are tied at 7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. These two teams all tied after 1. 2 yards still to go. Third down now. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one goes for 8 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Penix. Escaping the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. Robinson up the middle. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And looking to throw, Penix. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Leo Chanel. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Mahomes going to throw. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Mahomes now to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And he'll be able to get this up to about the 5-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 44 yards rushing for him now to this point. Here now, 2nd and 4. Again, it's Robinson. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offensive coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll go play action here with Penix. Forced out to his left. This ball down the field for Pitts. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chain. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I do believe the offense got this back. Goodness, they did. Their own 1-yard line is where they got it back, cutting it close here. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Flush to his right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. From the 29, here's a 2nd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll be brought down just outside the red zone. Mark him at the 21. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in this...
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Xavier Worthy from 6 yards away. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously... So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Bush with a pick. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Mahomes to throw on second down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? So on fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Butker's kick here is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Being chased out left. This ball down the field for Pitts. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll throw with Penix. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number one. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogant.
A leap, and he's got it. Kyle Pitts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Inside handoff, Smith. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Now Mahomes. And this will be caught by Brown. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Throwing now is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now Penix. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. On the bootleg, it's Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Here's Penix. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. A missed connection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. To the air, Penix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will tie things at 17-all. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. They'll run for it with Robinson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Penix going to look to throw on 1st down. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Well, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Again, it's Pacheco. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Here's the Chiefs punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Falcons ready to take over. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. He'll buy some time right. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes the correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
On the give, here's Robinson. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 23. 93 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.